Welcome to the English Out Loud podcast where I give you tips on your English communication skills. Today, actually, we're going to talk a little bit about culture. My wife and I are going to have a fun chat. We've also invited our doggies to join us, Sasa and Manu. Sasa and Manu, cheeky monkeys, one and all. Today we have had an interesting day in Mexico. Sasa, Manu, and I, and Estefania have all had our first actual snow day in the city. The whole city shut down. We had about, an inch of snow. It was enough to make a few snowballs and have a little fun. And, feel the crunchy feeling of snow under your feet. I've really needed that. That definitely helped satisfy that feeling. But we've come to realize that a lot of people here in Mexico don't know how to handle the snow. People were panicking because their pipes were bursting in their house. Car crashes all over the city. All out anarchy and chaos. And so I'm here to put an end to it. And I'm saying stop it. When it's snowing.
Well, the light went out too.
The lights went out too, exactly.
Yeah, even in the semáforos.
Even in the traffic lights. Wow. So the traffic lights even went out. Total blackout across the city. And I'm here to set it right. And Estefania, as well, is here to chat with me, and we're gonna sort this one out together. So, how's it going today, Mrs. Bateman?
I've been introduced to this kind of weather just once I went once to Canada, I stayed there for 1 year. Actually, no, I've been twice to Canada.
And the other time was pretty cold too. It snowed a little. It was April.
It didn't. Did it snow?
Light snow. It wasn't much, but there was a little. Because in Canada, you can expect kind of like a light snow in April, but it's dying away. It's mostly just wet and muggy and a little slushy. But, maybe a little snow.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the worst part of it. That's when it all becomes ice and slippery.
Well, let's start from the beginning here. We arrived Yesterday we went over to your parents to have a little barbecue. Just had some carne asada, delicious. Manu? Delicious carne asada, and we very much enjoyed ourselves. Good conversation, and we all had a fun family time, just the four of us. We come on home, and we see that things don't look the way that they did when we left. There was snow on the cars. At first I thought, that's a little bit of frost. Okay, interesting. Must be getting chilly out. And then I realized it's more than just a little bit of frost. That little bit of frost, when I say frost, I'm talking about a thin layer of just kind of like icy air. It's not really snow yet.
It kind of cuts you if you try to touch it, and if it's on top of cars and you touch it with your bare hands and it cuts you. I tried doing that with a few cars and found out that wasn't that smart. There's some cars that you shouldn't take the snow from to try to make snowballs from.
Frost is just condensation. And it's just condensation mixed, the moisture in the air that's turned cold while it's sitting on your window late at night. And so it just gets real, hard and icy, kind of glassy. What we do in Canada, though, about frost is you have a little scraper in your car. And you pull out your scraper, and you just scrape off the frost. It's a pretty regular thing. You'll see people in the winter time, if you drive around in the morning, people are scraping frost off their cars. People need those here. People could have used those here. They didn't.
Because people will try to, scrape it and then, end up breaking the, scrape it not with a scraper, with a proper scraper, but, because we don't have proper scraper here.
Yeah.
Scrapers.
They'd use, a tool for something else.
Yeah, exactly. So they'll end up just breaking the window, or what's the other thing they'll do? Oh, they'll throw like hot water. It says you should never try using hot water to take off the ice. The frozen glass could shatter due to the extreme temperature change if you pour hot water on the vehicle's windshield. So basically, you cannot like change it do an extreme change to it, or else you could break the glass.
You change it too quickly. If you take it from freezing cold to boiling hot, the glass is not going to handle that kind of change. It's going to...
Yeah, you wouldn't put your windshield in a oven. It's not oven safe.
There you go. Okay. So what you want to do is first turn your car on and turn the heat on inside your car. Once your car starts heating up, any snow, anything that's on top of it is going to start melting. So you turn your car on, you turn the heat on, and it's going to start melting. Then, honestly, if you're in a real rush, you can just use the sleeve of your jacket, or if you have any kind of plastic scraper, maybe something for painting, as long as it's plastic, it shouldn't do any damage to the windshield. So just get something like that, or the sleeve of your jacket. Just start wiping the windshield as it thaws. There's a good word, thaws, which means unfreezes. And as it thaws and unfreezes, you can easily wipe it all away, jump in your car, and make sure you get all the snow off the roof, because you don't want to be driving down the highway and have a bunch of snow fly off of your roof and, hit someone else's car. That's not polite. That's bad etiquette, bad highway etiquette. So get in your car. If you don't have a regular scraper, maybe you've just got an old credit card that you don't even use anymore, like an expired driver's license, or a regular driver's license that you just don't care much for. Scrape it away with that. As long as your car is heating up on the inside, you're going to be fine.
Like, don't use metal to scrape it off.
Oh, yeah, don't use metal to scrape it off, definitely.
That's another tip there.
Yep, people need to know that, because it's easy to grab something that's metal and to think, okay, this will do the job. Think twice. Plastic will do it, or your sleeve, or a credit card, whatever you got, a plastic card. So now we've handled that. We've handled what to do about your car. Your car is covered in frost. Turn it on. Get it nice and warm on the inside. But the fact is, it's a snow day, so you just want to enjoy it. Like, there's no rush. When you have a snow day, you want to take it easy, take your time, and sure, you can look at it as if your day is ruined, but the reality is it's just a minor inconvenience on a day where, honestly, the whole city shuts down on a snow day. You don't have to get to work on time on a day like today, if your work is even open. Well, getting on with enjoying the day, you see, last night, as I mentioned, we were driving back, snow on the cars. At first I thought it was frost. Turns out it was a whole lot of snow, and we live up a mountain, and so the higher we got, the more snow you could see, until we got to our apartment building, which had actually a nice layer of snow, like I said, about an inch of snow on all the cars, our parking spot, a lot of snow around. And so at first I was just cold. I wanted to get inside. We got inside. We were all good. Estefania, however, wanted to go out and play in the snow, and at first I was thinking to myself, oh, who wants to go out and play in the snow? I was being a Grinch, I was not.
Totally.
Exactly.
I think you almost turned green at a point.
I may have. I
think you...
Well, then we heard a bang at the door, like...
Boom.
That was it.
Like a boom.
The dog started barking, and we thought to ourselves, what was that?
It went like...
What was that?
even does it? Yeah, just like that.
Yeah, and Sasa normally doesn't bark much, actually. She's usually the quiet one, but in this situation, she got a little rowdy.
Yeah, they knew there was something going on.
Well, we opened the door to check what was outside, and our neighbor, a nice friend from Wisconsin, was throwing snowballs at the door. She wanted to play. She and her son were out having a little snowball fight with some other neighbors. And I said, all right, let's get to it. You know, when you're challenged, when a snowball's been thrown at your door and you're challenged.
You can't say no.
You can't say no. You got to throw a snowball back.
We didn't even have gloves, guys.
No gloves.
We just had to get out.
The doggies came running out. Manu didn't like it that much. Sasa was having fun, but I ended up bringing the both of them in. But the fact is, we ran around and had a nice little snowball fight with our neighbors, and that's what a snow day is about. You know, when there's snow out, the first day of snow, go have fun with it. You know, just get out there. We just made some snowballs, tossed them around. You make the best out of a freezing cold situation. But now, at this point, here is a crucial moment, because this is late at night. Temperatures are dropping. At this point, it was at about 0 degrees Celsius. And here's a crucial moment in how your next day is going to go. At this point, what you want to do is shut the water off coming into your house. If you live in an apartment building, not a lot that you can do. You know, maybe talk to your custodian or any superintendent of your building. But the point is, if you live in a house and temperatures are dropping below 0, shut the water off coming into the street. This is because if you don't shut the water off, then the pipes are going to be full of water. And that's a bit of an issue, because if the pipes are full of water and the water freezes, then it expands. But the pipes are made of metal. They aren't expanding. They're breaking. They are snapping. And then in the morning, you'll wake up and your entire house may be flooded. And the water will be cold, very cold, and it's going to be a whole day to clean it up, and you will not get to enjoy your snow day. I imagine people around this city of Monterrey probably had to deal with that today because I didn't put this podcast out yesterday. But you want to shut the water coming off into your house and drain that water. Have a nice hot shower yourself. You know, brush your teeth extra long. Fill a few glasses of water just for fun. And once your pipes are drained of water, this relieves that pressure. And now there is no risk that your pipes are going to burst, leaving you with water damage, possible mold later on. Just keep that in mind, and, well, it'll save you a bit of trouble. But what would you say on this subject?
Well, as I was telling you earlier, my dad suggested you, and I don't know if you noticed earlier when we had to go out, there were some water pipes that goes in the house. They kind of like insulated it with some PVC tubes and some foam. Well, some houses had foam around it. Some houses had, like, I even saw houses that just had newspaper on it. I honestly don't know how well would have that worked, because newspaper I don't think did too much. But some houses really, like, put effort in it, put like bags and bags of plastic bags just to make sure that part that was like more like prone to break, or the part that was exposed to the cold of the environment kept warm.
Oh, okay. So you're saying like they would try to, keep it from freezing, essentially. Yeah.
Yeah,
just
exactly.
Try to keep it warm. Yeah, just try to keep it warm.
Yeah, cover it with whatever you can cover it so it conserves the warmth. And they had and some friends also told me, like, yeah, just keep your hot water running.
Oh, well, you're going to waste a lot of water.
Well, they said, like, not, like, the whole thing, but, like, dripping kind of thing.
I mean, that may not hurt.
like it's either that or having the pipe burst, and that's way more water lost.
Folks, this is just a quick message to remind you to subscribe to the Accent Training Podcast. If you haven't already, you don't want to miss a second of this accent training experience, and you want to be updated whenever I've got new content out for you. So if you haven't subscribed, hit subscribe now. Well, that's where, if you like shut the water off overnight when it's like dropping real low, because at the nighttime it's going to really freeze. But then in the daytime, turn it on. It's just be careful. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, if like water freezes, it turns to ice, it expands, and pipes burst. So, you're just don't roll the dice on it kind of thing. When it's freezing, take care of that proactively. A proactive approach can save you a lot of money in water damage to your house.
And time.
And then you're not going to enjoy your snow day.
Stress and anxiety, like you don't want to have that on your snow day. You just want to sleep in and go out, have a snowball fight.
Well, this morning I woke up and I noticed that the power was off. My power was off. I was getting up around 7 a.m. or so. Class is starting at, I think, 8:30 today. But I was getting up, ready to go, and power was off. And, I couldn't do anything. I couldn't make my breakfast. I couldn't do a thing that I wanted to do. So it was like, well, I couldn't even message my students, which sorry to any students who may not have been informed, but I couldn't even get a hold of people to let them know about the classes because the power was off. Now, a few hours later, it managed to come back on, but it was kind of flickering on and off throughout the day, and that was just such an inconvenience. The point is, though, in those moments, you got to get some rest. For us, we chose to, we got up, we checked everything, we saw the morning is kaput, there's nothing to do, and we said, you know what, who wants to get up anyway? Let's go back to bed. And we just relaxed, just chilled all morning. It was fantastic. Eventually we got up because, you got to take your dogs out sooner or later. And that's when we got to go and see our own little winter wonderland. Sasa and Manu got their first day in the snow, having a bit of fun. Now, we let the dogs run around. They played with their other doggy friends a little bit, and then we ended up coming back inside, and we said to ourselves, what do we want to do with our day? Well, we made soup. A fantastic soup. You see, I personally think making soup is great on a snow day because if you make a really good soup, you can leave it for, an hour or longer, however long you like. And as that soup cooks, it's going to be warming up your entire kitchen. It's going to be warming up your entire house. And at the same time, you've got a nice, beautifully smelling, delicious soup cooking.
Oh, it did smell so good. Especially if you put carrot in it. Like, man, carrot makes every soup smell so good.
Absolutely. A little bit of carrot in your soup and some potato. Soup on a snow day, definitely something that you want to do. It's easy. You put some water, just put some water in a pot, a couple of spices.
Some broth.
Definitely. What's your favorite thing in a soup? Will you say carrot or anything else?
I like corn in soup. I think carrot. It's just carrot. It's like so it's like the flavorful thing. I think also onion and garlic are really good in soup.
Absolutely. Onion and garlic. Kale's good. What do you prefer? Chicken soup? Like, what if you got a meat in your soup? What kind of meat do you like?
I prefer chickpea, to be honest.
In place of like for a protein, you'd like. Oh, nice. Okay, that's good in soup. Nice.
Yeah, I love chickpea soup. Or lentil. Oh my goodness, lentil soup is like the one of my favorite ones. But yeah, if I had to choose an animal, I'd say chicken.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's just chicken soup for the heart,
Absolutely. Absolutely. I would like to try more shrimp in soup in the future. I haven't had many like here in Mexico it's real common to have shrimp soup.
Yeah.
But it's more coastal kind of thing.
There's even like shrimp broth you can get.
Shrimp broth.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's easy to find shrimp. Or you can buy like the dry shrimp.
Oh.
And just put some dried shrimp.
They're not the same though.
No, they're not the same.
Nah, I like a big juicy shrimp in my soup. Yeah. So, okay. That sounds like quite a meal, in my opinion. We've got, absolutely. Whether it's chicken, chickpeas, lentils, or shrimp, or beef, whatever you want in your soup, eat it up. It's going to be good. But just make sure, put it on and just, first you get it going. You, stir it every once in a while. Keep everything nice and, moving in there. Just put the heat on low, let the soup sit there and boil and enjoy,
Or use a slow cooker even.
Use a slow cooker even. Nothing wrong with a slow cooker. It cooks very slowly and that's what you want. It's a snow day. You're taking it easy. You might not even have to do any work at all today. Maybe clean your house a little if you want. Take it easy. Okay, so what else do we got for the snow day? So as I said... you have had some really... I wasn't even thinking about this today, but you took charge with this, and...
I saved lives.
You definitely have. I think that there are a number of lives today that were saved due to your actions. Yeah. And so, explain what type of heroic action you've taken.
Well, my heroic action of the day was posting an Instagram story where I told my fellow Mexican citizens about a discovery I made back in 2017 in the wintry abode of Canada, where I noticed there were people with green and yellow sacks, plastic sacks, bags of what looked like salt, and even trucks with salt, just spilling it all over the streets. Just massive spillings of salt all over. So I'm like, okay, I guess this is what they do. But then eventually I know, I got someone explained to me that what they do is they put this salt on the streets so people don't slip. If you happen to slip in front of someone's house, it's just not nice, because that means that someone didn't put salt in front of their house. That made it so it was slippery in front of their house, and that's just not a nice neighbor, man.
Yeah, it's like a neighborly thing to do, making sure that you don't have big patches of ice in front of your house. Also, you don't want it there because you don't want to step out of your house and step all over a bunch of ice and possibly slip. But, for anybody passing by, any pedestrians, same thing.
Yeah, it's just safer to avoid any concussions. How many people do you know that have had concussions from slipping?
Me, probably. Yeah. I mean, I know I've had it. I've slipped a bunch of times and smacked my head on the ground. It's not fun.
So as I came out this morning from, I opened our door. We were attacked by snowballs yesterday. So there was some ice on our ground. So I just went out and put some salt all over the ground. And I thought, you know what? Not every Mexican will think about putting salt in the ground, so people are going to be slipping there. Maybe they should know that if they carry some salt around with them, it'll be easy to walk. Because, Canadians are just meant, or made to walk like penguins, but Mexicans are not. Like, I don't know how to walk like a penguin. Patrick told me once, like, oh, you do when everything's slippery is you walk like a penguin. And I was like,
well, not quite like a penguin, but what my suggestion is, if you have to walk, because if sometimes, like you say, of course, if there isn't salt on the ground and you don't know what to do, you may slip. To avoid slipping, you see, you just want to keep your kind of like your body weight as low to the ground as possible, right? Now, of course, you don't want to go and kneel real low down. You'll look silly. But just when you walk, you just got to walk with your feet very close to the ground. So you just don't lift your feet up high and don't glide your feet when you're walking. You just want to keep your feet very low, take small, short steps. Like I said, the wintertime is all about being patient. It's all about slow movements, taking it easy and slow. So small, short steps. Otherwise, if you take a big step and you try and, move too quickly, I can guarantee you're going to slip. It's not a question of you might slip. I can guarantee you're going to slip. So you want small, short steps, and you won't have any trouble. Anyway, so you're stepping outside. You have ice. You put a little salt on the ice, and you're good. You're laughing. Ain't no problem from there. However, the difficulty that you're going to see next is when you step outside, well, your feet are going to be cold. Your hands are going to be cold. And you are going to not like this. What I suggest doing in order to avoid, freezing your hands off is just take a little bit of rice, put it in a sock, put it in some sort of cloth bag. This is going to get nice and hot if you pop it in the microwave, and then you can put that into your boots, put it into your mitts, put it into whatever you've got. This is going to keep your feet from getting real cold. It's going to keep your fingers from getting real cold. You're going to feel better about yourself if you walk around with rice in your mitts. Now, once you're out there, there's one more thing that you want to be careful for. I've talked a little bit about a snowball fight. And, of course, pick up some snow, toss it around. But watch out for yellow snow. Yellow snow. Do not eat the yellow snow. That is the public service announcement we hear as children. Do not eat the yellow snow, Patrick. It's not lemon flavored. It's doggy flavored. It comes from dogs. Dogs make yellow snow. Or bears. Bears may make it. Cats make it. The fact is, don't eat it. It honestly is. It's something, kids, I bet you in this city today, we were talking earlier, I was saying, I'll bet, at some point, somebody said, hey, carnal, hice nieve de limón, pruébala. I'll bet you that was said today. Hey, come on, try some lemon snow. There must have been some gullible kids out there, who didn't know anything about this and fell victim to the yellow snow. It happens. It happens every year. Don't eat yellow snow. They tell us this as kids, and it's a fact. You don't want to do it. Do you have any closing remarks that you'd like to make today, Mrs. Bateman?
well, so, in a cold day, make sure you keep yourself well insulated. Doesn't matter if you look good, fashionable, or not fashionable. No one's going to be worried about that. Everyone's freezing cold. So just make sure you're insulated. Like, if someone's laughing at you, just tell them, like, at least I'm super warm, man.
Absolutely. It's good to wear 2 or 3 pairs of socks. It's good to wear,
3 pairs of pants, 3 pairs of sweaters.
Exactly. It's about being cozy and warm.
So that means 6 sweaters.
Exactly. Although then again, you can also just get a nice jacket, goose down jacket, something like that.
Yeah.
And that's that. Well, very good advice, very good closing remarks there. And I agree wear some layers, get cozy. It's going to be a long winter. So, this month is indeed one of the coldest months. It's a short month, 28 days this year, February. Something tricky about this month is that we don't exactly pronounce it the same way that it's spelled in regular American English. February. Could I hear you say that as well?
February. Today is February.
February 15th.
February 15th.
Here's the thing. When I pronounce that, I'm not pronouncing the R within the word. Here's what we're getting. It's just a little bit different on the stress. That's what you want to focus on. So we don't want to get February, but rather like this. Feb-you-wary. So no R, and we're going to go through the 4 syllables with stressed, unstressed, stressed, unstressed. February. Could I hear that from you?
February.
Exactly. You see, we're adding a W. Instead, like we're taking away the R, and then we're putting a W into a different part to make it like wary. February. So before the end of the month, February, you still got another 2 weeks that you can practice saying it. A little less than 2 weeks, but about 2 weeks that you can practice saying it until next year, that is. So practice that right now, February, again and again.
So today is February 15th.
Not bad. One more time, a little bit harder on the WAIR part.
So today is February 15th.
That did it. February. So it's important to get that WAIR
February. February. Where are you, Wary?
February. Look in the description just below. You'll see the spelling of February. You can also see an Instagram post that I made just last week about the spelling and pronunciation of the word February. It is a doozy. Well, we're going to get to wrapping things up for today. Feel free to send me a message on Instagram if you like what you hear and you want to hear a little bit more. If you got any questions about anything that you heard today, I'm happy to get back to you. en.outloud. And as always, remember to hit subscribe on your podcast app of choice, simply because then you'll immediately be updated anytime I release some new content, which is typically every Tuesday and every Thursday. Anyway, have a wonderful day. Wonderful evening. Enjoy your drive or your walk or your exercise. And you'll be hearing much more from me in the days to come. Have a good one.